Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Deborah Leong, and today we're going to do a gentle Hatha yoga practice focusing on the posture Vasisthasana or side plank. I do recommend, if you like to practice with me, to have a strap and maybe a blanket to sit on or a block or something to sit on. Even a chair is fine to sit on in the beginning. We're just going to use it for centering in the beginning of class. And otherwise, this is pretty much all you need today. So, finding a comfortable seat. Taking the hands onto the knees and the eyes gently closed. And just take a moment here to notice how you feel before you practice. Maybe scanning from the head to the toes. Briefly, just notice how you feel. And then bring your awareness to your breath. If you're familiar with the Ujjayi, ocean-sounding breath, please take that. Otherwise, just allow the breath to be smooth throughout the practice, trying not to hold your breath. So just taking a few moments here to feel grounded, feel the connection to the seat, to whatever you're sitting on, the cushion or chair. Feel where the legs are making contact with the floor beneath you. Allowing the spine to grow nice and tall. Allow the shoulders to relax back and down. So in our busy lives, we're so used to having noise all the time. So just take a moment to enjoy the quiet and focus on the breath. And then opening the eyes. But allow them to remain a little soft. We're going to begin to move with the breath, rolling the shoulders in circles, and just take your time. Going slowly enough that you can really feel what's happening, so not rushing. And then going the other way, please. And then just roll the shoulders back and down. Spine nice and tall. Taking the arms down by the sides, spreading the fingers. Inhale, reaching the arms out and up. And then exhale, lowering the arms down. Inhale, the arms out and up. And exhale, out and down. Nice big sun breaths. Inhale, make the motion nice and full, the breath full. And exhale down. Inhale, nice full inhale, full movement. Exhale, lower. And we're going to take the arms out to shoulder high and just hold them here for a moment. Notice if your shoulders have come up towards your ears. Let your shoulder blades relax down the back towards the waist. And then on your next inhale, from your shoulder, rotate your upper arm so your palms face forward. Then on your next inhale, rotate your arms so your palms face up, reaching out. And then on your next inhale, raise your arms up, and then exhale back down to shoulder high and pause. Inhale. Exhale, rotate the arms, palms forward. Pause. Inhale. Exhale, rotate the arms, palms down. Pause. Inhale. Then exhale, lower the arms just shy of the floor, so not all the way down. And then we're just going to gently bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Reaching out to the left arm. Getting a nice side stretch for the neck. Then inhale back up. Exhale, take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Reach out to the right arm. Then inhale as we come back up with the head. And then exhale, release. With the hands on the knees, cat-cow. Tilting the pelvis forward, arching the spine, creating a gentle back bend. And then exhale, gently curl the tailbone under a little bit, unless that hurts your back, and round. Inhale, tilt the pelvis forward and arching the spine. Exhale, curling the tailbone under a little bit and rounding, unless, again, that hurts your back. Going back and forth a few more times. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, arching. And exhale, rounding. Inhale, coming to neutral spine. Raising the right arm. Grow tall, reach up through the arm. Exhale, a little side stretch. Try to ground that right sit bone down. Then inhale as we come back up. And changing arms. Raise the left arm, grow tall, reach up. Exhale, side stretch to the right. Try to ground down to that left sit bone. Then inhale as we come back up. And then exhale, we're going to rotate towards your left. Taking the right hand to the outside of the left knee, left hand behind you. Try to maintain the length in your spine, especially on the inhale. Feel the spine lengthen. And exhale, rotating. And breathe. And then exhale, releasing the rotation, changing sides. Right hand to left hand to the outside of the right knee. Right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine, grow tall. Exhale, rotating. Try not to force the neck into more of a rotation than is comfortable for you. Just allow it to comfortably rotate, just to the point that feels okay for your neck. And then exhale as we release. Then we're going to release the blanket. If you are sitting on one, just put that to the side. Take the legs out in front, and we're just going to make some circles. Going slow enough that you can really feel what's happening. So the whole leg is rotating. It's not just the ankle. I'm actually rotating the entire hip joint. and then going the other way. And then we're going to bring the legs back in, come onto our hands and knees. So we're going to explore, even beginning here, we're going to explore the action of creating the action for the hand, arm, and shoulder that we would use in our side plank, Vasisthasana. You want to press into the hands and at the same time feel like you're trying to lift up out of the shoulders. So you're lifting up away from the floor. Drawing the lower ribs in, draw the lower belly in. And lengthening the spine. Tailbone reaches back. The back of the neck is long. And the crown of the head reaches forward. So I'm really looking straight down here. Now one more thing. Imagine there's a line going down the center of your mat. And see if you can feel like you're hugging with your arms and legs, hugging the center line. So this helps engage a little bit more core. And then we're going to release some of those actions, relax a little bit. We're going to do cat-cow. Inhale, lifting the sit bones, arching the spine. Exhale as we curl the tailbone under and round. Inhale as we arch. Exhale as we round. Inhale as we arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Then inhale, coming to a neutral spine. We're going to take the right leg back behind us with the toes curled under, pressing out through the heel. Again, draw the lower belly in, draw the lower ribs in. Shoulder blades down the back a bit. Press the hands down and at the same time lift up out of the shoulder. Now you might feel a little bit more weight in your right hand. That's okay. But keep the hips level. Try to keep the torso level. Raising the right leg to hip high, pressing out through the heel. If you like to raise the left arm as well for bird dog, feel free. It's not necessary. And then exhale, lower the left hand if you've raised it, and lower the right leg. Now we're going to rotate our right leg open so that the toes point out and the heel rotates in and down. Take your left hand slightly forward of your shoulder, just a little bit further forward, maybe not even an inch, just a little bit. And then we're going to press down into the left hand, lift up out of the shoulder, draw the lower belly in, and then rotate the belly and rib cage open, and raising the right arm. So this is a nice variation of side plank that makes it a little bit easier more gentle for the wrist and elbow, not as much weight. But keep rolling this left shoulder open. And then exhale, we're going to lower the hands back down. And then come into a child's pose. So it's a little bit of an active version of child's pose. So my feet are together, my knees are separated a bit. My hands reach forward as I press the fingertips into the floor a bit. The upper arm bone is lifting. And then inhale, come forward to hands and knees. I'm going to do the other side. So we're going to take the left foot back, toes curl under, pressing out through the heel. Draw the lower belly in, draw the lower ribs in. Press down into the hands and lift up out of the shoulders. So in this case, you might feel a little bit more weight in your left hand. That's perfectly fine. If you like raising the left leg, just try to keep the hips level. Pressing out strongly through that heel. And then if you like, you can raise the right arm. It's not necessary, but it's an optional position for bird dog. And then exhale, lowering that right hand if you've raised it. Lower the left leg. And then we're going to rotate the left leg open so the toes point out and the heel comes in and down. Take your right hand slightly forward. Press down into the right hand, lift up out of the shoulder. Draw the lower belly in so that the tailbone isn't jutting out and the pelvis isn't kind of loosey-goosey here. Draw the lower belly in so we're nice and solid in our core. And then rotating open and raising the left arm. If it's very hard to balance here, you can take your right foot out to the side a little bit, like a little kickstand if you like. So continue to press down into the right hand and lift up out of that shoulder. And then exhale, lower. Coming back to child's pose again, please. But we're a little bit active here with the arms, so we're not just relaxing the arms completely. You're going to press your fingertips into the floor, lift the upper arm away from the floor, and reach your hips back and down. Spine reaching the top of the head forward at the same time. And then exhale, release, and bring the hands back by your feet. Taking the hands under the shoulders and gently come up. Okay, and then we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So hands and knees, curl the toes under, and press the hips up and back. If you tend to round in the low back here, then just soften your knees a little bit, lift your sit bones up and back as far as you can. And we're going to bend the left knee as we lower the right heel. It's probably not going to touch the floor. That's okay. And changing sides, bend the right knee and lower the left heel. Kind of what we call walking the dog. Inhale, bend the left knee and lower the right heel. Inhale, bend the right knee, lower the left heel. Inhale, bend the left knee, lower the right heel. Inhale, bend the right knee, lower the left heel. Bend both knees a little bit. Again, lift sit bones up and back. Press into the hands and reach the hips up and back as far as you can, and then straightening the legs if you like. The heels might touch, they might not. And then we're just going to take little steps forward, coming to a standing forward fold with the feet hips width apart. You can have the knees bent here if it feels better for you. But if the knees are bent, still we want to create this action of pressing the feet into the floor in a balanced way. Notice if our toes are really rolling out. Try to have the toes pretty much facing forward, the knees pretty much facing forward. Everyone's different, so it should be comfortable for you. That's most important. And then lifting the sit bones. You want to feel like we're pressing into the feet and lifting the hips up at the same time. Even if the knees are bent, we don't want to feel like we're dropping our pelvis towards the earth. We want to press into the feet and feel like we're lifting our pelvis up towards the sky, regardless of how far we can go. And then if you haven't bent the knees, go ahead and bend them, taking the hands to the thighs and coming up to standing. Okay. And then taking our hands in front of the heart, standing near the front edge of the mat. Taking a couple rounds of sun salutation. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Exhale as we fold forward. You can bend the knees if you like. Inhaling, coming halfway up, hands on shins. Exhale, folding, stepping the right foot back to a high lunge. Check that your left knee is right over your ankle, please. And then exhale, taking the left foot back to a downward dog. Inhale, come forward for a plank position. You can lower onto the knees here if you like. Otherwise, into a plank on the knees. Otherwise, from a high plank, push into the floor, lift up out of the shoulders, draw the lower belly in. If the legs are raised, press back through the heels. And then exhale, lower the knees, the thighs, hips, belly, coming all the way down. Press the tops of the feet into the floor so the kneecaps are lifted. Draw the lower belly in. And then inhale, roll the shoulder blades down the back, reaching your heart forward and up for a nice little cobra. Use your back muscles to do most of the work here. And then exhale as you lower back down, press back to hands and knees, and then downward dog. And breathe. Then exhale, come on down to the knees. Take the right foot forward between the hands. Raise the left leg. Again, checking that the right knee is right over the ankle. Top of the left thigh is lifted strongly, pressing back through the heel. And then inhale, stepping your left foot forward between the hands. Coming halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, coming up to standing, raising the arms out and up. And exhale, lower the hands in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. Other side. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. And exhale as we fold. Inhaling, coming halfway up, hands on shins. Exhale, fold, stepping the left foot back. On your next exhale, take your right foot back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward for a plank, coming onto the knees if you like here. Press down into the hands, lift up out of the shoulders, draw the shoulder blades down the back a little bit. Draw the lower belly in, draw the lower ribs in, and lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Press back through the heels, legs nice and strong. And then exhale. Lower the knees, thighs, hips, belly all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Breathing deeply. And then exhale, lower. Press back to hands and knees. And downward dog. Reaching the hips up and back, bending the knees if you like. And then on your next inhale, taking the left foot forward, or come onto your knees first, and then take your left foot forward between the hands, and then raise the right knee. And then on your next inhale, I'm going to step the right foot forward, coming halfway up, hands on shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up to standing. Raise the arms out and up. And exhale, lowering the hands. Okay, so now I'm going to take our hands behind the back. If by bringing the hands behind the back you find your shoulders want to round forward, then you might enjoy taking a strap between the hands and keeping them about shoulder width apart. It's most important that the shoulders, the front of the collarbones and the upper chest can lift open a bit and the shoulders roll open. That's most important. So clasping the hands, if it causes the shoulders to do this, just take a strap. Thumbs point towards one another. And then lifting your heart towards the ceiling. And then inhale, come to a neutral. If you are in a little bit of a back bend here, inhale, come back to neutral, bend the knees, tilt the pelvis forward, and fold. And then inhaling as we come back up to standing, releasing the strap and putting that to the side. Okay, then we're going to come into a nice tree pose. So taking our weight onto the left leg, rotate the right hip open. You can either have the toes on the floor, the calf, or the upper thigh. Taking the hands in front of the heart, and if you like, raising the arms. Nice deep breath. Finding a nice soft gaze somewhere in front of you to help with balance. And then we're going to exhale, release the hands and release the legs. And changing sides, bringing the weight onto the right leg, rotating the left hip, either toes on the floor, the calf, or the upper thigh. You can either keep your hands in front of the heart, or if you like, you can raise the arms. And breathe. Again, finding a nice soft gaze somewhere in front of you. That will help you with balance. And then exhale, releasing the hands, releasing the legs, shaking out the feet, and taking our feet nice and wide. Outer edges of the feet parallel, and raising the arms to 5-pointed star. So we're reaching down through the legs, reaching out through the arms, down through the tailbone, and up through the crown of the head. Then exhale, lowering the arms. Rotate the left foot in for warrior two and the right foot out so the toes point towards the back of your mat. And then we're going to bend the right knee. Try to keep the hips level in height. Notice if one side is dipped down, often it's the right hip. We kind of lean forward. So just try to keep your hips level so that the weight is distributed evenly between both legs. Then rotate the rib cage to face forward, extend the arms, and gaze towards the right hand. Just make sure the right knee isn't going beyond the ankle or rolling in. Try to keep it pointing right in line with your toes. And then exhale, lower the hands. Inhale, straighten the legs, changing sides. Rotate the right foot in, the left foot out. Toes point towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to bend the left knee, tracking in line with the toes, not going beyond the heel. Allow the hips to be level in height. Rotate the rib cage to face forward to the best of your ability, raising the arms and gaze towards the left hand. And breathe. And then exhale, lowering the hands. Inhale, straightening the front leg. Take the toes to face forward. We're going to come into triangle pose. Rotate the left leg in about 45 degrees, toes in. And the right leg rotates out 90 degrees. Drawing the right hip back. Taking the right hand to the shin. As you press down into the right hand, lift up out of the shoulder. Rotate the shoulder open. And at the same time, rotate your rib cage in the opposite direction. Keep drawing the lower belly in, rooting into your back leg, and raising the arm if you like. If you like to look towards the left hand, feel free. And then on your next inhale, push strongly into your feet and lift up through that top arm. Let that lift you up. Rotating the right foot in, the left foot out. Draw the left hip back. Take the left hand to the shin. And at the same time, lift up out of the shoulder. Shoulder blade draws down the back a bit. And then as you rotate this upper arm open, at the same time, rotate the rib cage in the opposite direction. Raising the right arm. If you like, you can either look forward or you can look up towards the top hand. That's optional. And then on your next inhale, we're going to push strongly into the feet, reach up through that top arm. Exhale, lower the hands, taking the toes to face forward. Outer edges of the feet are parallel. Now we're going to inhale, lift the heart, create a gentle, little bit of a back bend here. So lift your heart towards the ceiling, draw your elbows towards one another. Keep pressing strongly into the feet. And then on your next inhale, come up to center, and then exhale. You can bend the knees here if you like. We're going to tilt the pelvis forward, coming into a forward fold. And taking the hands either to your ankles or shins, or if you like, to the floor, fingers facing forward. You can use blocks under the hands. If you like to use blocks, feel free. So as the fingers face forward, the elbows point straight back. If our elbows are going out to the side or the shoulders are hiking up towards the ears, release the shoulder blades down the back towards the waist and rotate your arms so that your elbows point straight back. This gives a little bit more space for the neck. And then inhaling, coming halfway up, lengthen the arms, lengthen the spine, and exhale, bend your knees a bit. If they're not already bent, take your hands to the thighs and slowly coming up to standing, and then taking the feet back together. Okay, and then facing forward on the mat. Either feet together or hips width, either way. Inhale, raising the arms out and up. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhaling, coming halfway up, hands on shins. Exhale as we fold, stepping our feet back to a downward facing dog. And then inhale, come forward to a plank position, and lower down onto the knees, and then come all the way down. Now we're going to come up onto our elbows. So take the elbows right under your shoulders. I'm going to do a plank, but on the forearms. So notice if your shoulders are coming up towards your ears. As you press down into your elbow or forearm, lift up out of the shoulders. Draw the lower belly in, draw the lower ribs in, and use that action of lifting the belly and pressing into the knees to lift your hips a little bit off the floor. And breathe. If you need to come down, feel free. You can make fists with your hands if you like. If that's more comfortable, palms facing in towards one another. If having the palms down rather, makes your elbows go out to the sides, then it's better that you turn either your palms up or in and keep your elbows right under the shoulders. You have a nice firm foundation there. And then exhale, lowering the hips. Come all the way down onto your belly for a moment and rest. So we're going to try that again. Inhale, bring the elbows right under the shoulders. Palms can either be up or in, making little fists, or palms down. But make sure the elbows aren't going out to the sides. Try to keep them right under your shoulders. And as you press down into the forearms and elbows, lift up out of the shoulder, drawing the shoulder blade down the back towards the waist. And then press into your knees as you lift your lower belly and lift the hips and breathe. You can come down anytime if you need to. If this is hurting your shoulder, please come on down. See if you can imagine a line going down the center of your mat and hugging that center line with your arms and legs a little bit. That helps you more fully engage the core. And then exhale, lowering the hips, coming all the way down, and rest for a moment. And feel like you could bring your forehead to the floor, bring your legs together. Bring your arms back behind you. You can use a strap or interlace your fingers, or use the strap with your thumbs pointing towards one another. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Roll the shoulders open. Lengthen through your arms. And then inhale, lifting both the upper and lower body for a flying locust. And then exhale as we release, coming on down. If you'd like, you could turn your head to one side And rest for a moment. And then taking our hands under the shoulders, pressing back to hands and knees. And then child's pose. This is a more relaxed version. Just let your arms relax. And inhale, come forward. And then we're going to come onto our side. The knees bent. The elbow is just slightly of the shoulder, just slightly, like a smidgen. I'm going to press down into the left elbow and lift up out of the shoulder. Draw the lower belly in. And then we're going to press into the arm. Lift up out of the shoulder, lift the hips, and if you like, raising your right arm. And breathe. If you'd like to look towards the right hand, feel free. Otherwise, just look straight ahead. If this starts to hurt your shoulder, please come on down. And then exhale, lower the hips. We're going to change sides. So you could just roll onto the other side. The knees are bent. Right elbow is just slightly forward of the shoulder. And then we're going to draw the shoulder blade down the back, roll the shoulder open, draw the shoulder blade down the back, press down and lift up out of the shoulder. Draw the lower belly in, and then pressing into the knees to lift the hips. If you like, you can raise your left arm, either looking forward, or if you like, you can gaze towards that top hand. Come down anytime if you need to, okay? Not straining the shoulder. And then exhale as we gently come back down. Come onto our belly and rest for a moment. And then taking our hands under the shoulders and coming back to downward dog or child's pose. Either one. Now you have a couple of options here. We're going to take Vasisthasana. You can sit on the heels for a moment, so I'm just going to show you really quickly. You can take Vasisthasana or a variation with the knee down. So, in the beginning of class, you may remember I did a version, really, of side arm balance, Vasisthasana, or side plank, with the left knee on the floor and the right foot rolled open, and then coming up into the posture this way. Okay? So if that feels like it was enough of a challenge for you, then please just take your left knee forward and down onto the floor. Otherwise, from a downward dog, we're going to shift our weight forward about halfway, take the left hand forward a little bit, and then roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. You could take your right foot in front of you to give some extra support. Press down into the left hand, lift up out of the shoulder, draw the lower belly in nice and strong, and raising the right arm. If you like, you can stack the feet. And if you're up to it, creating a little bit of an arc here. So it's almost like somebody's trying to poke me in the side here, and I'm lifting away from it. If you like, you can either look forward or look towards the top hand. It's optional. And then exhale, lowering that hand and coming back down to either downward dog or, if you like, a child's pose. Either way. And then we're going to change sides to the other side. So I'm going to shift forward about halfway, take my right hand a little bit forward of the shoulder. Either lower the right knee and then roll the other hip open, or keeping the legs straight, I'm going to come onto the outer edge of the right foot, And take my left foot forward in front of me a little bit. So it's a little bit of a kickstand, a little bit of a helper. Press into the right hand, lift up out of the shoulder, rolling the shoulder open, rolling the rib cage open, and raising the left arm. Notice if your shoulder's coming up towards your ear. Try to draw that shoulder blade down the back. And if you like, you can stack the feet. Optional. And creating a little bit of an arc here. Either looking forward or up. And then exhale, lowering that left hand. Coming back to either child's pose or downward dog. And then sitting on the heels with the feet together. I'm going to bring the right arm over the left and hug yourself. Or if you like, you could take Garudasana. And then exhale and releasing. I'm going to change sides, bringing the left arm over the right. Either hug yourself, or you can even take that arm across if you like, or Garudasana. And then exhale and releasing the hands. Now you can take the hands behind the back and interlace the fingers, or you could take the strap and hold the strap between the hands. Lengthening the arms, rolling the shoulders open, lifting the chest, lift the heart towards the ceiling. And then glue your thighs together. Draw your legs together strongly. And then we're going to gently come forward. Keep that action of gluing the thighs together, taking the head to the floor and raising the arms. And then inhale, come back to sit on the heels. And then exhale and releasing the arms. I'm going to make our way onto the back. In any way that you like, take your time. So the feet are together, knees bent. Let the knees go out to the side, soles of the feet come together. Either hands on the belly, or if it's comfortable for your shoulders, bringing your arms up and back for reclined bound angle. And then exhale, releasing the arms down by the sides, taking the knees together, keeping the knees bent, take the feet and knees hips width apart. Arms down by the sides, roll the shoulders open so your palms face up, and then maybe drawing your shoulder blades towards one another a little bit. And then lifting the hips, coming into bridge pose. Again, you can either take the strap and hold that between the hands with the thumbs pointing towards one another and work your shoulder blades towards one another over time. Or if you like interlacing the fingers, feel free to do that. Tops of the thighs point straight up. So notice if your thighs are rolling out to the sides. If so, try to ground down through the inner ankle. Draw the legs towards one another, engage in the inner thighs a bit. So the tops of the thighs point straight up. And then exhale, releasing the hands and slowly coming down. Take your time. And rest for a moment. If you like, taking the feet together, knees out to the sides, coming into reclined bound angle again. Or bringing the arms up and back if that's comfortable for your shoulders. And then bringing the knees together, lower the arms for a knee down twist. We're going to straighten the left leg, roll onto the outer edge of the left hip, and taking the right knee across. Left hand to the outside of the right knee, right arm out to the right, and breathe. And then coming back to center, taking the right arm out to the right, adjust the hips, straighten the right leg, and then we're going to roll to the outer edge of the right hip and take the left knee across. And then inhale, bringing the left knee back up to center, adjusting the hips so they have a nice neutral spine, neutral pelvis. And then if you like, you could take your strap around both feet and extending your legs up towards the ceiling. If you don't have a strap, you can hold the back of the legs, or you can go over to a wall and have your legs up against the wall. And just allow for a gentle, natural curve in your low back. So you're not tilting the pelvis and overarching the low back, but you're also not trying to flatten it out. Just allow, unless that feels really good to you. That's fine if that feels really good to you. Otherwise, just maintaining a little bit of a natural curve in the low back. So the pelvis is in more of a neutral position. And if you are using a strap, take your hands, slide them down to the very ends of the strap, and taking the feet a little wide as you comfortably can. And then taking the feet together, bend the knees, release the strap, and putting that to the side. Straightening straighten the legs rather, taking the feet together, and then take your hands to clasp the side of your thigh just underneath the buttocks. So just taking your hands to the upper thigh, to the outer edge of it, and wrap around a little bit. We're going to roll our elbows in and then press into the forearms, and just coming onto the back of the head, not the top of the head, just the back of the head, creating a little bit of a back bend in the mid and upper back. The legs are active. Roll the thighs in a bit and press out to the mound of your big toe. So the tops of the thighs are really pointing straight up. They might tend to roll out, so just the thighs pointing straight up. And then exhale as you gently come back down. If you like, you can give yourself a little hug here, gently rocking side to side. And then making your way into relaxation pose, Shavasana. If you'd like to place a blanket over you to stay warm, then take a moment to do so, please. Or you can use a jacket, but it's good to keep the body warm during relaxation. And letting go of any effort in the breath. Allow the belly to be soft enough to allow the breath to flow in and out without restriction. Softening the muscles in the face, especially around the eyes and the jaw. Feel the back of the neck relaxing and lengthening. Relaxing the shoulders, arms and hands. Relaxing the belly and the low back. Relaxing the hips, legs, and feet. I'm going to leave you here in quiet for a few moments, and then in a few moments I'll come back to lead you out of relaxation pose. But for now, just take a moment to rest here and enjoy the quiet. Okay, so beginning to come back, gradually deepening the breath, maybe wiggling the fingers and toes a little. And on your next inhale, give yourself a nice stretch. Make yourself as long as you can. And then exhale and release. Drawing the knees in towards the chest, giving them a gentle hug, maybe swaying side to side to massage the low back. And then coming onto your right side and resting here for a moment. And then slowly take your time, coming up to a seated position. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be blessed with good health. May you have ease of well-being. May you have peace that is unbound by circumstance. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you join me again. Have a great day. Thank you.